Hi my loves, welcome back to the Starscartel channel. If you don't know, I am Star. So as I said, this message, as every message, is connected to the last message, but this one is like very closely connected, okay? But the video was getting so long, I'm separating, okay, because of that. But this entire day of messages comes from the series Blood Sisters. This message is, if your spouse is causing you harm, you do not owe them any explanation as to why you are leaving. Okay? We just talked about part of this in the last video. The bride decided she doesn't want to marry the groom after he beat her because her ex showed up uninvited to the wedding. And instead of leaving, instead of her just packing her things and leaving, she had the opportunity. Instead of her just leaving, all of her family was there. She could have easily told her friend, I'm out of here. When her friend told her, you do not need to marry him, she also should have said, we leaving. Okay? Because instead of her just leaving, she could have just left. She decided to try to talk to him face to face. He has already shown her that he is a monster. He has already shown her that he is a demon. He has already shown her that he is not somebody that is going to be easily persuaded. He has already shown her he is not a very understandable man. When she tells him this, he begins to choke her and he tries to take her out. But her friend walks in and hits him in the head with something, trying to get him to get off of her. And it just so happens to take him out. In reality, it was an accident. Her friend was really just trying to protect her. They both end up on the run. Because his mother, okay, once his body was found, then it was a situation where they were after them. Okay. And the whole point of this message is it could have all been avoided. The scripture comes from 2 Samuel 2:17. After a very fierce battle that day, Abner and the men of Israel were defeated by David's servants. The three sons of Zeruiah were there, Joab, Abishai, and Ashiel. Ashiel, who was afoot as a gazelle, in the open field set out after Abner, turning neither right nor left in his pursuit. Abner turned around and said, "Is that you, Ashiel?" He replied, "Yes." Abner said to him, "Turn right or left. Seize one of the young men and take what you can strip from him." But Ashiel would not desist from his pursuit. Once more Abner said to Ashiel, "Stop pursuing me. Why must I strike you to the ground? How could I face your brother Joab?" Still he refused to stop. So Abner struck him in the abdomen with the heel of his javelin, and the weapon protruded from his back. He fell there and died on the spot. And all who came to the place where Ashiel had fallen and died came to a halt. Joab and Abishai, however, continued the pursuit of Abner. The sun had gone down when they came to the hill of Ammah, which lies east of the valley towards the desert of Geba. So, here's the message, okay? In this situation, this man was going to pursue her no matter what. It's kind of like, okay, she was going to leave regardless. The wedding was over regardless. And, she was basically trying to give him that respect to tell him face to face. But what God is saying, you cannot have a civil conversation with a demon. He tried to ask him, he questioned him several times, go right or left, and take what you can from those people, but leave me alone because I don't want to hurt you. He didn't listen. He asked him again, please go right or left, and find somebody else to play with because I'm not about to play with you today. And he didn't want to listen. And then he had to strike him. God is saying that this woman put herself in a position to where she had nowhere to run. She had nowhere to get away. And she already knew that this man was after her. But instead of her just leaving and carrying on with her life, and, at least if she, how do I say it? At least if she would have just left him at the altar by himself, he would have been embarrassed. His family would have been embarrassed. But what can they do? She publicly, it would have been, I just feel like it would have been better for her, because everybody would have saw that she has rejected him and she does not want to get married to him. And yes, she may have brought a little shame to her family, but all that would have been cleared up with her simply saying that he has been beating on her and abusing her since they got engaged. And that's the truth. And yeah, they may try to cover it up and make her seem like she's a liar. And they may try to act like she's crazy. And they may try to act like this. And they may try to act like that. But the long story is, he would not have been able to pursue her in such a way as to where he was trying to harm her, because all eyes would have been on him. The fact that she put herself in that position, she had nowhere to run and she had no other options. And, it's kind of, I just feel like God is saying that if he gives you an opportunity to leave peacefully, even if you got to leave all your stuff. Because if somebody shows you every time you try to leave, they get aggressive with you and they trying to fight you and they trying to take you out of here, then that is a telltale sign that if you try to talk it out with them and tell them nicely, I'm about to go, they not finna be happy with you. It's not gonna be no peace, but it's no peace. They not trying to hear that. And it could possibly go from, like in this movie, at first he was telling her, how dare you embarrass me? And it's like he went from being a sweet man to a demon within seconds. Before the words could finish coming out of her mouth, his hands were around her throat. And God is saying, in situations like this, it don't take more than common sense to realize that your Heavenly Father do not, and it's not okay with somebody abusing you in such a way. No, he's not. He is not okay with that. He is not okay with someone treating you that way. And, this is a situation where you don't owe them no apology. You don't owe them no explanation. This is one of the men that be typing in the comments, oh, I'm so tired of women, and they so awful, and they always leave me, and they always they go, and I think they should go and get a cat. Yes, I would rather have a cat than have a man that's trying to choke me out. I sure would. Because the cat, if the cat gets frustrated with me, it's going to go over there and mind its business. It's not finna come and try to choke me. If it gets mad enough, it may scratch me a little bit. And sometimes they scratch on accident. But that's just a part. It is what it is. In reality, I would be better off with the cat than with the abusive man. I really would. I would. I'm just being real. I would prefer the cat. I would prefer the dog. The dogs are loyal, okay? I don't have time. I'm just being real. I'm just being real. I'm just being all the way real. God says, do not stress yourself with this image of you were nice. Do not stress yourself with this image of somebody trying to make you out to be this mean, awful person. Don't stress yourself with this idea of someone trying to make you feel like you are the bad guy. God said, it is what it is. I just feel like God is saying that there are certain situations where, what would you prefer? Would you prefer for people to say that you're mean and you broke somebody's heart? Or would you prefer to be suffering in silence for the rest of your life? I would prefer for people to think that I'm mean. I would prefer for people to think that I'm not nice and I'm so mean and you just so wrong. I would prefer to be all by myself than deal with people that are being mean to me for the rest of I'm not going to do it. No, I am not going to. I will not suffer for the rest of my life so that people will think that I'm a nice person. It is what it is. I deserve happiness too. And the people that were plan on mistreating you and being mean to you and being nasty to you, they are happy when they are being this way towards you. They are happy seeing you miserable. They are happy seeing you sad. They happy when they get enjoyment out of the idea of, oh, we didn't invite her. I bet she's going to be so upset and her feelings going to be hurt. And oh, yes. And it's like, okay, well, if you can do that to me, then why I can't just go on about my business? Why should I? Why? What is the difference? What is the difference? Just like in this movie, this man, he's beating on her and abusing her and mistreating her. His mother is making her feel like she is unworthy of her son. And her son is a demon, the devil. And she thinks that the girl should be kissing up to her, and the girl should be begging for her approval, and the girl should be, like, no. God said there are certain times where you just have to take a pause and think, is this really the kind of life that I want? Is it worth it? Like, all the money in the world is not worth being mistreated that way. All the money in the world is not worth being beaten every day. All the money in the world is not worth being treated as though you are unworthy of your husband. It's not worth it. And in some cases, it is any woman that has been battered, that has been abused, and has been in a situation where she was with a man that was trying to hold her hostage, will tell you that sometimes you just have to go quietly. Sometimes when you are trying to do it in such a way with a man, like I'm being reminded of, what was the name of that? Medea's Big Happy Family? No, Medea's Family Reunion, I think, where the younger sister was engaged to an abusive man, and she decides that she's going to try to leave him while he's there. And while I was watching that, I was like, that is just so stupid. Like, this man abusive. He crazy. And you gonna leave while he there. Wait till he go to work in the morning, and then you won't have to worry about him trying to stop you. You can just leave. He tried to throw her off the balcony and said, either you gonna be with me or you gone. Okay, either I have you, either if I can't have you, nobody else can, type stuff. And that's just crazy. And if you are dealing with a man like that, ain't no demon gonna tell me that I am wrong for leaving quietly. No. If you in that position, what would you do? I want to see it. And in reality, God is saying that a lot of times when somebody is trying to make you feel like you wrong, they trying to make you feel like you just so bad, if it was them, either they would do the same thing or they would not have been able to handle it. And sometimes they like seeing you in that position. I am more terrified of somebody that pretends to be a friend or a family member that is insisting that I go and be in an abusive situation or a dangerous situation than I am of somebody being real and telling me, now you need to leave. He ain't worth nothing. You need to let it go. Sometimes you need that family member that's going to be real. And not the ones that's going to laugh and talk about you behind your back. Because in reality, they ain't helping. They are not worried about you. And to be honest, they don't care. Because if they did, they would be helping, not laughing. People that care about you don't talk about you behind your back, especially if it's a situation where you are in danger or you could have lost your life. People that truly love you and care about you are there to comfort you when you need it. People that truly love you and care about you are there to make sure you're okay. And in traumatizing situations like this here, this is when you need somebody. And it can be hard when you don't have nobody to lean on. And, in reality, while her parents were being very, they were not being very supportive of her at all. They were not being concerned with their daughter's well-being at all. All they were worried about was dollar signs. And they did not realize that all that money that they have gotten, they could have lost their daughter. And what kind of real parent would be able to say, well, you know, even though I lost my child, but I'm going to dry my tears with money and dollar bills. That's not a true parent. That's a demon itself. That's an evil spirit itself. And that's the message, y'all. God says that if you are in a relationship, if you are in a situation and you are being abused, you are in danger. You are in danger, for your life is in danger. You don't owe them no explanation. You don't have to give them no goodbye. You ain't got to write them no letter. You ain't got to give them no 2 weeks notice. Get out of that situation and save yourself. Because if you are in a situation like this woman was, there very well may not be anybody that is willing to help you. Some people really just don't care. They would prefer to laugh at you than to try to reach out and help you. They will prefer to watch you suffer than to actually put forth effort to help you. And that's the message. God said, don't put yourself in sticky situations. Don't allow yourself to end up in a position to where you are like in danger. And that's the message. And sometimes we end up in these positions, but when God says it's time to go, it's time to go. Okay? Sometimes it's not worth it to go and pack your things. Sometimes it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It is not worth it. Because anything could happen at any given second, at any given time. I just saw on the news where a young woman stand in a neighborhood that people were telling me that I should consider moving to. Just walking around, got hit by a stray bullet. Okay, anything could happen at any given time. And if God is telling you to stay away from somewhere, you need to listen to him. And that's the message. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe.